Greetings everyone, it's Dr. Jen Koziak again. And the intent of this video is just to give you an overall tour of a module. So looking at the components in each module. So now you're going to notice that I've already logged in to our Desire to Learn platform using my given email and password. And I'm going to join our summer math MOOC course. Now again, since I've already taken the pre-test, you're going to see something different. First of all, I have in my news Module 1. Now, if I'm still seeing that welcome and introduction news item, I can always exit out or close it so that I only see the news item related to the module I'm in. Now, you'll also notice a couple of things. In your content browser, you now have access to Module 1 if you completed the pretest. And notice it says 1 quiz not attempted. That's your module quiz that you have to pass at a 75% or better to access Module 2. Now, a couple of things when I navigate through a module is I can navigate it through the kind of the news platform. Or what I prefer is to go to the content tab. So under the Content tab, I'm going to select all of Module 1. Now notice you still have access to the introductory module that has the course syllabi. But in each module, I'm going to get access to this almost the exact same thing. Right? The first one is going to be my learning objectives for that module. This is what we're going to cover. I'm also going to have a tracker. Now this tracks every time I click or open one of the topics that are below. Now, every module is going to start with a minute of math video. Now, this is going to be my colleague, Dr. Megan McHugh, going through very briefly where I might see this content in the real world. In this case, she's looking at bicycle commuting in Baltimore. Now, again, if I'm unable to see a video, if nothing opens up, it means that my browser is blocking content, and we give you some suggestions on how to fix it, or you can email me at any time. Another important item in each module is going to be the module lecture. Now, I'm going to warn you, these are very long. They end up being 30 to 45 minutes because they cover almost every single problem that you're going to see in your module quiz or homework. But the beauty of each module lecture is I can scroll through and look for a problem that I want more information on. For example, I know fractions, so I'm going to look at ratios, and I'm just going to scroll forward.
20.
So that's one pathway in order for you to kind of gather a whole bunch of information on this topic. The other thing that you can look at is the subtopics. In this case, this module has 3 subtopics. Each subtopic has its own kind of mini lecture or introductory lecture. And then they have a series of what we would call learning objects. So let's look at one of those mini lectures. Now notice right here, if I click on notes, something pops up. But when I click on lectures, nothing's popping up. That is probably because I have some mixed content being blocked. So I want to hit this item right here to tell me how to unblock it in Chrome or Firefox. And it looks like because I need to load the script. So I just hit the shield and hit OK. And let's see what might happen the next time I click on it. I should hit load content, and there the video appears. So Chrome and Firefox actually work best for the videos. The other Safari and Internet Explorer, sometimes they're not going to play those videos. So just kind of be aware of that as you move forward. So now that I've gone to Module 1 and looked at the mini lecture, I now have a series of learning objectives. And there's another video that's going to take you through each one of these tabs. You have a problem, answer, a video. Again, if you see nothing when you hit that chalk talk, you have to load the content. Sometimes we have Khan Academy videos to watch as well as those self-checks. Now you can always submit a comment by selecting that tab on the right-hand side or email me along the way. So each of these are going to be separate learning objects that are going to allow you to practice. The other components that you'll have are your web work components and your module quiz, which is the only thing that's mandatory. So let's take a moment to look at web work. Now remember, your username and password is going to be your email that you sent us. So I'm going to type in my email that I sent. And that's going to be both for my username and password. And I want it to remember me. And now I have access to Module 1. You actually have access to all of the homework. Module 0 is just going to give you an overview on how to enter things. So I can go problem by problem and read through it, and I can answer by simply typing my answer in. Not quite sure what the answer is, but let's just say it's 24/5, right? So 24 divided by 5, and I submit my answer. And it's going to tell me that my answer is incorrect. Now, I can go through and answer it again. Eventually, it's going to give me a hint. Now, if I'm really stuck on web work, I can just email the instructor, and this is going to send us exactly which problem you're working on, and it's going to help us. And normally, we'll send you back a nice video podcast on how to solve it. So again, web work is optional, but we highly recommend it as it gives you a little bit more practice on the tools. So the last thing in your module is what we highly recommend you always start with is your module quiz. Now all quizzes are the same, and this time we have an unlimited amount of times or attempts to complete. I'm going to start my quiz, and I'm going to just start answering those questions. Now what's different about this quiz than the pretest is after I hit submit, I'll be able to see what items I got incorrect, as well as feedback on where to go. Now, right now, the feedback is not sent. So let's just see what happens as we move forward. So I'm going to start my quiz. I'm going to pause the video as I just randomly answer the quiz items, and I'm going to come back when we submit the quiz so you can see how you can see your quiz score, and then see if we gain access to Module 2 with 75% or better on our quiz. Now again, even if you got 75% or better, you can retake it in order to get 100%, and that's what we recommend. So give me 1 minute in my world, okay, more than 1 minute in my world, but just a second in your world. All right, so now I am back. And I went ahead and I am ready to submit my quiz after I saved all my responses. So I'm going to hit that submit quiz button. And now notice what happened. It's telling me that I finished it. It doesn't tell me if I received 75% or not. It just says if I did, then I should be able to go back and see Module 2. If I didn't, I'm going to have to work on it. Now, what's showing here is the problem that I got incorrect. Now, when you log in, you're also going to see what you got incorrect, as well as specific feedback. This would tell me that I would have to go back into fractions and tell me which of the learning objects I should practice with. Here's my score, which is 7 out of 8, which means I got about an 88%. So when I hit my table of contents, I should see Module 2. Let's check it out. Notice Module 2 now appears both in the content as well as my course home. I now see Module 2. So that's kind of a brief tour of the learning objects and the course components within each module. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me at any time.